In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review them with me on Look at My Star Trek Toys! Wait for the whoosh! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at My Star Trek Toys, a little show in which I, Keith Varney, show Mike and Deglio Star Trek stuff. Yeah. And it started out just being my Star Trek toys, but you know what? It has now become your Star Trek toys, your custom figures, your custom playsets, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. And you can send them to us at lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com to be included. It might take 6 or 7 years for us to get to it because we have a backlog like you wouldn't believe, which is fantastic, and I love it. But we are very excited to show off all of your amazing stuff. So this week we have it's a lot of Voyager stuff, and then we've got a little bonus there in honor of the series finale of Star Trek Picard. How's it going, Mike?
Keith, it's going great, man. I want to once again say thanks to everybody for watching. I had something else to say, Keith.
Oh, and, did you?
I totally lost it. And so I was just kind of vamping there because I don't have anything to say. I'm doing good. Keith and I record a bunch of these back to back to back, so we already chit-chatted, so I feel like I don't have anything new. I don't know what's happening this week, so.
You ever want to hear Mike's brain grinding and just making mouth sounds?
I guess I can invent the future, right?
Because you can't have dead air,
Keith,
right?
I can't believe how wonderful, how incredible our live stream of the Xbox Summer Showcase was last week. I mean, like, so many viewers tuned in with us.
It's so weird I didn't show up.
It was just me watching someone else's stream.
I mean, but isn't that like your best self? Isn't that the thing? Isn't that what we're all really sort of trying to get to?
Yeah, I've just come to in my life that some people have a critical eye, and some people and some people just enjoy being hype, Keith, and that's me. I just want to get hype about stuff. You know, we don't have to cut everything down. We don't have to critique everything. We can just enjoy and be excited about things. I'm old, people. All I have is looking forward to stuff.
Well, fair enough. I mean, that is basically our brand. That's what
I'm
we do.
looking forward to whatever you're about to show us. Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going.
Hype! Woo! Oh. Great customs, baby! Yeah! All right.
All right. Well, why don't you hype up our patrons, who you can find at patreon.com/KNM, and get all sorts of extra bonus materials, most of which is what Mike just described. Mike watching a stream of something and commenting as it happens.
I like to get pumped, you know what I mean? But, getting pumped ain't free, Keith, and you need incredible people to help you produce your incredible shows. Yeah, anyway, the patrons, we're so thankful. It blows my mind every day that people actually watch what we're doing. Bryant Kimball, Beersuck, Wyatt L. I can't even say their names, and they still appreciate the work we do. Wyatt Eldridge,
we still have another episode after this. You got to fire up,
There's not enough coffee in the world. Casey Clark, Jason Moe. Jason just asked me to be his friend on PlayStation, and I'm going to do that. Brent Joshua, Andrew Hayes, Jorge Navoa, and the Mysterious Wharfs, Big Ol' Woot Chivs, Charles Babbage, Richard Coleman, Sierra Productions, Nikolai Ivanovich Lobachevsky, Delusions at Noon, JD Makes, Colin Dagan, Chris Mitchell, Pat, Joshua Cronin, and of course 5 to 6 to 12 other people who have joined the Patreon in the past week, and we just didn't get to update the slide yet.
Oh my God, you're secreting more patrons? Oprah?
Anyway, Keith and I are playing, are on the journey of playing a new video game, Resurgence. I've got some Let's Plays I want to do. I want to listen to some. I want to do so much with the patrons, so enjoying that. But I also watch Star Trek, all kinds of shows every week. You can watch along with me before we do our review online. We do AMAs. We got to do one of those. We got stuff. We just, more than anything, they help offset our time and produce the show, and we appreciate it. You can also give us a like and a comment below, and also check out our other shows, not this one particularly, but our other shows on your podcast feeds. There's always enough, Keith and Mike, if you're missing us. So just check out.
The word isn't enough; it's too much. There's always Too much.
You know, we heard, Keith, we heard from patron of the show, OG patron, the mysterious Anne.
Oh, we did.
We did. And she just said, I'm still here. I'm loving you guys. And also, we heard some people watching us poolside. So whatever you're doing this summer, however you're spending your days in the rays,
if you want to destroy your poolside vibe, bring along us.
Nothing will attract your preferred partner than listening to us through a Borg Bluetooth cube.
100%.
By poolside.
It's gonna repulse almost everybody, but attract just that right special someone. All right, so let us get into this. I want to start with another fantastic custom playset from our friend Jack at Sci-Figure Photography.
Cool.
There it is. This is the Voyager Bridge, adapted out of the 90s Playmates Enterprise Bridge. Unbelievable. So here's what Jack said before we get too far into it. Says, I wanted to send a subspace frequency over the Delta Quadrant, over from the Delta Quadrant, aka the UK. Being the massive Voyager fan that I am, I decided to track down an Enterprise D Bridge playset that was a bit worse for wear and see if I could transform it into my favorite Star Trek ship bridge. I decided I wanted to try to maintain what made the 90s Playmates Enterprise Bridge playset great. It retained all the core design elements from the filming set, but changed the color slightly and made things a little chunkier to make it look more toyetic. Good word, toyetic. I also decided to try to emulate play features that you would find on the playset, such as movable station ops, so that either Tuvok or Harry have somewhere to work and or not get promoted. Good Voyager joke. The helm is also removable along with Tom's chair. There's still a few things I'd like to add in a later date, but for now, I think she's ready to take on whatever the Delta Quadrant has to throw at her. So here in this picture, you can see we have the helm for Tom Paris to sit at. Look at that, Mike.
That's awesome. Somehow able to capture the sort of texture of the chairs, which is very sort of specific. Also, I love that I never watched Voyager, so I love that the captain's chair is sort of, there's a duo. Are they like co-captains?
No, she's the captain. He is the first officer. But yes,
I love that it's sort of democratized, right? It
is a little bit. Yes, yeah, that's true. Cool. Which makes sense because even though Chakotay had to be first officer, they're combining two different ships complements, and so you have to find some way to compromise there. But you talk about also just fantastic photography.
That could be the press kit.
That could absolutely be the press kit, and we've got some. We have Janeway's customized hair for later seasons of the episode, where her hair finally got dialed in. She had 72 different types of hair throughout the show, and this is the best version of it. But look at that! What a fantastic play set! And the ring light above it not only provides light for the photography, but it also is sort of how it looked on the show. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking the same thing.
And adapted. So, like, if you look through the adaptations from the original playset, the consoles to the right and left of the chair there are actually from the seats from Com, or from where Data and Wesley sat in the original thing, and then with the top taken off and moved to the side there. Those chairs are from the original bridge there, and Paris's tactical there is actually the horseshoe from the back of the original playset. And then, but I love the arches put up the top. Those had to be custom built. The rail on the back there, and then the paint scheme looks. I mean, it's because Voyager, everything was sort of gray as opposed to the sort of tan Holiday Inn-ness of the D. I think it looks phenomenal.
Very cool.
Such a creative way to do that. I think it came out great. Jack, if you have more pictures coming, or when you continue to update it, like you said, send them along, because I think that looks looks fantastic. And I know there are a lot of Voyager fans out there who will be really psyched to see this. As well, you got the Silver 7 there, looking good. It's a
usually the Silver 7 we had looked at, I think we looked at before, the stance was kind of very specific, but it looks right at home here.
Absolutely. Well, if, she can barely stand up on her own, but you can lean her up against a rail and get that there. So I love that. I love the series. I love the ship. Mike, you don't know it yet, but once we're done Deep Space Nine, we're probably going to have to do Voyager.
You keep saying that, but we're going to be too busy, Keith, running an empire.
Oh, this is going to be part of the empire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's gonna be great. We'll have my brother on and talk about working on the show. It's gonna be great. Anyway, so Jack at Sci-Figure Photography, phenomenal work with your Voyager Bridge, but we're not done with your work, and we're not done with Voyager, because next up, now, Mike, before you go there, do you know what an EMH is?
I can't even come up with a witty anagram, so no.
It is an emergency medical hologram.
Hmm.
Do you know that Bob Picardo, the doctor right there, is not even a real person on the show? I
only know that because you brought it up before, I think, on one of these shows.
So he is an emergency medical hologram, the doctor, and even though they're out in the other quadrant, it doesn't mean Starfleet is done, creating the next versions of the EMH. So maybe they came up with an EMH Mark II, and here is the obviously 3D printed facial sculpt. Can you tell who that is yet?
No.
The actor. So obviously this is a 3D sculpted head attached to the customized figure. We're going to see next, and now it's going to blow your mind when you figure out who plays
Andy Dick.
Andy Dick plays the EMH Mark II.
I mean, we could have run around the block for years. I never would have just plucked out Andy Dick.
Andy Dick, and look at that custom figure, which is fantastic, including all of the it's the more contemporary, or it's the First Contact uniform, which looks like it was actually painted as opposed to cannibalizing one of the other uniforms, which looks fantastic. The adapted communicator and the 3D printed head, the Andy Dick's head right there on that figure. That is a fantastic custom figure.
That's great. Is that custom too? No, that's just with the doctor.
Yeah, no, that's the Voyager Bob Picardo figure. But of course, they tag teamed in a fantastic and hilarious episode of Voyager, which we're not gonna get to it for like 5 years, Mike. So you're not gonna remember that this happened, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, Andy Dick was on Star Trek." That's 100% gonna be your reaction when we get there.
I went through a huge Andy Dick phase.
Did you?
Yeah, because he like co-starred in a couple of movies with Pauly Shore, and I was all about it.
Pauly Shore and Andy Dick.
Yeah, they did like G.I. Jane, or like a G.I. Jane type movie, and then they did Biodome.
Huh?
Yeah.
And I think that explains the taste level of our show. Pauly Shore, yeah, that's us. And Andy Dick. Anyway, that is a fantastic custom figure. Now, Mike, do you know you can't just put out an EMH and an EMH Mark II without someone to design and create the EMH, right?
Yeah, of course.
Somebody's got to build it out. Someone's got to design it. And you know how us artists, we like ourselves a little bit, and we like to make things of ourselves. Those of us with custom action figures and such. And next up, we're gonna find the designer, the creator of the EMH, Dr. Zimmerman, who of course designed the first EMH in his own image.
Ah.
So Bob Picardo got to play 2 roles on the show. And so this is the creator of the EMH, Dr. Zimmerman, another fantastic custom figure. This one's basically just a head swap, but it's a very effective one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known.
And
but I guess how would you, right?
I mean, how would you? But you know, Bob getting to let his hair down for yet another one of these wacky characters is delightful. Man, those later seasons of Voyager got to be so much fun.
How many seasons of Voyager were there?
There were a full 7 seasons.
Wow. Man, Keith.
We have a lot of work to do.
We're going to need some more patrons.
What? I'm sorry. You're like, I don't want to do Star Trek anymore. I want to do Pauly Shore movies.
Oh, my God.
What Keith and Mike watch Pauly Shore. Keith and Mike watch Biodome.
Debuting the newest podcast, Are You Sure? Keith and Mike watch all Pauly Shore's movies.
Are you sure? Surely that can't be Andy Dick. Oh my God.
Oh, I have so many more terrible puns, but let's not ruin this show already. We got one more, Keith. What are we closing it down? It's been
ruined. All right, so this last one is just a little bonus in honor of the end of Star Trek Picard from our friend Steve Brown, who sent this. This seemed appropriate to send for spoilers-related reasons. It's made up of pieces from Dazbot Toys, Triple Fiction, an Etsy page I've completely forgotten, and a printed-out screenshot from the Next Generation, a couple of choking hazards, and a dollhouse trombone. Let's take a look. It's the Next Generation. It is the Next Gen figures playing poker, which was such a big part of the series and then picked up once again on Picard. My heart is warmed by all of this and the collaboration of all of the sources, right?
Yep.
Let's go through them. We have the original Playmates line from 91. We have the 2022 figures. We have I'm assuming the chair and the table are from Dazbot, our friends at Dazbot. Triple Fiction did some other pieces of it. I don't know. An Etsy page, the screenshot from Next Gen, and the dollhouse trombone. I bet the Horgon there is from Triple Fiction as well.
Also, there's like a little decal on the computer screen there on the right.
Right. It's
like a little like a Nintendo Game Boy there on the table.
It looks exactly like that. Ooh, I loved my Game Boy. Yeah. So it's a fully formed, fully told story here. And oddly appropriate brings a tear to the eye for the end of Next Gen and the end of Picard. Really awesome. Steve. Love it. Steve Brown, thank you so much for sending that along.
Which is actually something we haven't done a lot of, Keith, which is really cool, is that, there's a lot of these customs, there's a lot of these different custom play sets, there's a lot of different sources of these materials, and we often look at them segmented. But that's not how I used to play with toys, right? They used to all go into a bucket together, and we'd create all kinds of universes where they would coexist. And so it's great to see an in-universe, an in-canon sort of tapestry here created with a bunch of different stuff. It's
infinite diversity and infinite combinations, buddy. Love it. All right, so if you would like to send along your custom figures, your custom playsets, your custom whatever, you can do it at lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com, and you can get right to me. It's going to take us a while to get there, but we really want to see it, and we really want to feature it here on the show. You can also check out our other shows. Keith and Mike watch Deep Space Nine. Keith and Mike watch Strange New Worlds. K&M Geekly, and whatever else nonsense Mike ropes me into doing.
Are you sure? The newest Pauly Shore-focused podcast on the internet.
Yes. Shore in the Dick. There it is. Check it out on your YouTube feeds. You can join our Patreon at patreon.com/K&M. And if you haven't already, give us a like, a subscribe, and even if you have already, tell a friend. Bring some other folks here to enjoy this nonsense. I think that's all we got. Next week, we have another fantastic episode of Customs. And Mike, get ready. It's going to be Deep Space Nine Customs. I know that was going to make him excited. Till then, this has been...
No! Come on!
Look at my Star Trek toys! Whoosh!